Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, once again, lots to cover, lots of information. This picture was taken last night. I took a selfie and sent it to Megan's mole as I was laying in bed. I was so tired. And she was like, good picture. And I'm looking at this going, you got to be kidding. All right, we have a lot to cover. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're starting off with the information that came that Queen Consort Camilla took all those beautiful flowers that were at the Buckingham Palace State Banquet, and they were donated to a London daycare center for the elderly. Now remember, these were all flowers that came right off of their property. They weren't ordered special or anything, and they were beautiful. I think that was a very nice way to reuse them. Next up, I told you yesterday that Queen Camilla was hosting a reception for Queen Rania of Jordan and Crown Princess Mary. Well, a really nice picture came out that I wanted to show you. Now, here we are the next day, and Queen Consort Camilla is with Sophie and Queen Matilda of the Belgians, Queen Rania of Jordan, Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, and several guests. And they're having a reception. And the reception is to raise awareness of violence against women and girls. And Camilla, of course, made a landmark speech. But here she is, saying hello to everybody. So I'm going to point something out before the sugars jump all over it and claim racism. Watch how she greets each person, and then watch how she greets the African descent lady, not African American. Just watch. Now, for those of you who may not recognize her, that is the First Lady of Sierra Leone, because here she is arriving at the airport earlier. So I was like, why didn't she give her the double cheek kiss? Because she's not royalty. She's simply a guest at the palace. The only people who got the double cheek kiss was the royals. That's it. And the woman didn't, curtsy to her or anything either. So, okay. So there's nothing racist going on there. Now, there were some other very important people that were there. You had reality star Zara McDermott, who spoke out against the issues of revenge porn. Camilla also met Spice Girl and domestic abuse campaigner Mel B. Rebecca English was there and put up a tweet talking about how wonderful it was to be around all these wonderful game-changing women. I agree. And I have to say, I think Sophie looked absolutely lovely today. Talking about Sophie, she went earlier, I think it was the day before, to the Conference for Preventing Sexual Violence in Conflict. And she joined other people about discussing the work of the Pansy Foundation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. She's trying to stop, sexual violence that occurs during war. Sophie had a few comments. Just what she said was so resonating. Here's a little snippet. Listen to this.
But let's now move forward to the City of Joy. It's called the City of Joy because it is one of the most joyful places I have ever been. The care is based on love and respect. Respect is something that it doesn't cost anybody to respect someone. It costs nothing to love somebody. And this is the premise that the City of Joy is based on.
Sophie, we know, supports a lot of her time to supporting women, peace, and security. And she's passionate about supporting women and championing gender equality. She always has been. Love it. We all know what she was thinking when she said that. Because it costs nothing to respect somebody. Exactly. Which is why she's so smart, which is why the Queen wanted her to take Meghan under her wing, and Meghan made it clear she didn't want Sophie's help. No, instead, the Queen gave her all these other people, and then, of course, we all know that Meghan went on the Oprah show and claimed that nobody had trained her, when actually we know that that's not true. But something obviously, happened between them. I've shown you these clips before. Watch this. Remember at the last Commonwealth service, Harry threw a fit because he wanted to walk and be important with William and Catherine. And so to settle it, William and Catherine were seated before the procession. You can see how unhappy Sophie is here. She wants nothing to do with them. And then when Sophie looked up at Meghan and gave her the stink eye, Meghan immediately looked away and looked down. And then remember this, where she scooched in front of the chairs because she was going to make darn sure that they were in front of Sophie and them? Exactly. Poor Sophie drew the short straw and had to ride in that car with Meghan. Lord. All right, moving on. Next up, the king had a visit with the Prime Minister of Greece. Ooh, I hope I'm saying this right. Mr. Kyriakos Mitsotakis. All right. The king also made tennis player Emma Raducanu, who won the U.S. Open in 2021 at the age of 18, a member of the Order of the British Empire at Windsor Castle. Lovely. Next up, King Charles met with 15 charities at Buckingham Palace, looking at the life-changing impact of donations from the UK public to humanitarian crises, including the Pakistan flood appeal, which, by the way, has now raised over £38 million. Way to go, people. Way to go. All right, here we go. The Times Person of the Year. There's quite a list. King Charles is on that list, as well as Ukrainian President Zelensky and a host of celebrities and female protesters in Iran. The Prime Minister is on there. Trump is on there. Doesn't look, though, like Harry and Meghan made the list this year. Maybe they couldn't afford it this time around. All right, here we go. The Duke of Gloucester was at the Best Yakov, which is a Jewish primary school, and he was shown the pupils' fantastic exhibition of life 50 years ago. That looks like a lot of fun. Moving on now, we're going to talk about Sarah Ferguson. She never went to the Sandringham Christmas after what happened. The Duke of Edinburgh is the one who banned her. He passed, and I guess the Queen didn't have her, but now that Charles is there, apparently she's being welcomed back, which means you might see her walking to church with the family. I think that would be lovely. I mean, she did raise the daughter. She stuck with Andrew. All right, moving on. This story came out that the Queen's cancer was not told to Harry and Meghan. But what's more shocking is that they didn't tell Harry and Meghan because they knew that Harry and Meghan wouldn't be able to keep their mouths shut, and they didn't want them announcing it to the world. Can you imagine? That's why you don't tell the family what's going on, because you know that they can't keep a confidence. That's really sad. And I'm just throwing this in there as a little tidbit. Prince Harry's ex-girlfriend, Cressida Bonus, gave birth to her first child with her husband. They were seen out pushing the stroller around. And it looks like Cressida and the other girlfriend, the one from Chelsea, the one from Africa, they've all moved on. And I think they realized that they might have, dodged a bullet. All right, moving on. All right, here we come on some interesting stories. So it came out that Meghan had a low-key Thanksgiving and that she was spotted preparing 300 Thanksgiving lunches. That's what the article said. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. Apparently, they partnered with a downtown women's center to package these lunches ahead of time. They said that the Archewell team went. Also, that the DWC removed the photos from their website. So since they removed the photos, people were never going to know about it unless Meghan put it up on the Archewell website. And that's how it was, put out. So number one, I find it very interesting that the women's shelter removed all traces of the photos that were on their website. Number two, that does not look like Meghan Markle. It says the Archewell team. Believe me, if Meghan was there, it would be an up close picture. I think that's that Mariana Diani lady. I do not believe for 1 second that that's Meghan. And there's no pictures of Harry either. Okay, this next story, I was just like, really? Once again. So Meghan Markle is proud to back an accessory brand that's donating 500 handbags to her SmartWorks charity. That's what it says. So there's a company called Cuyana, I think you pronounce it, Cuyana, and they announced that they're donating 500 of their classic structured totes to that charity to help women get back out into the workforce. So Baroness Brooke said it perfectly. Mandana Diane, once again, just like with the voting thing that she set up and Meghan said it was hers and she put it on Archewell, Mandana Diane arranged for these purses to be donated. So the company put out this statement talking about how they're partnering up. But what I liked was this statement that they put out where they talked about Mandana Diane. Their biggest accomplishment is the community we build. It's got nothing to do with Meghan Markle. Once again, somebody else set it up, somebody else did the work, and she's trying to take full credit. I think that's horrible. And I don't understand why Mandana Diane lets her do that. Notice the date on the tweet above? It's from June 21st of 2015, or any way you want to look at it, June 15th of 2021. It's still her work, not Meghan Markle's. So once again, somebody else does the legwork. She's taking the kudos. Look at me, look what I'm doing for my patronage, when the truth is it's not her at all. It's one of her employees. I don't know why Mandana Diane doesn't open up her own thing. I would totally back her. Because she seems like she's really in it for the right reasons. And she's been in it for a long time. She's not just in it for the publicity. I would totally back her. She should open her own charity. All right, moving on. All right, you guys, the pictures started to trickle out from that An Evening with Meghan that went on in Indianapolis. The first photo is a bunch of Girl Scouts. Yes, the cookies and all the fundraising, and they blew the money. It's $500 a seat. Look how many Girl Scouts there are. That's where your money went. So if I was in Indianapolis, I wouldn't be buying any more cookies. These other pictures, I'd like to say they shocked me, but when you're a narcissist, giving each person at the table a framed photo of yourself and H wrapped in bubble wrap, along with some Ghirardelli chocolate that you can buy in bulk. It's not even the big ones, it's the kind you can buy in bulk. It's like a love fest for Meghan. Love me. Oh my God. If I paid $500 for a seat, I'm waiting for somebody taped that speech. It's going to get leaked. And how much you want to bet it's going to be 10 minutes of me, I, me. I'm not kidding. Okay, I had to throw this in for Shouty Shola and Nadine White. You guys remember when William and Catherine were on their tour and they were in Nigeria and they were put in this car. They were asked to ride in it. It was the same one that the Queen had ridden in. And Shola and Nadine White came out and said, "Woo, it's racist, it's horrible, it's horrible." Remember that? Well, a new politician was elected in Nigeria. Look what he's riding on. And the crowd is silent. Interesting. Moving on. All right, this story is about Harry. Apparently, he's been making rounds promoting his memoir. He was at a dinner party on the 19th of November that was attended by some investors and business associates, and people were horrified and disgusted by the things he was saying. He was bringing up topics that they said he looked like he was unbalanced, unstable, and then when they tried to change the topic because what he was talking about was inappropriate, he was getting mad. That's what was reported. And they also said that every time he repeated a story, it was different. So they're saying that he's not really credible. He allegedly made some really nasty comments about some of King Charles' friends and inner circle because, just inappropriate. Now, we know that Harry was photographed walking the dog, complete with his Archewell cap on. But, of course, the children were nowhere to be found. So, he just doesn't look like he's enjoying his life. But you know what I've said before, marry in haste, repent in leisure. All right, guys, here we go. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to discuss. As you can see, that's Avid above, Fiona, and she and I have a bet going as to whether Harry's going to show up to the Ripple Award. I say he is. She says he's not. We bet $1. Well, she contacted me because if you can see right below that, there's some spam popping up. I'm getting lots of emails from people. They put my profile picture, but if you look, it says Sue lowercase dash Smith 1. That is not me, people. If this ever happens again, if anything like that happens again, just remember the only way you can reach me is with the email address that I provide you free in my description box. And when you see stuff like this, ignore it. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Leave those comments below. Hit that subscribe button. If you haven't hit the button, hit it. If you've already hit the button, double check and make sure you're still subscribed. For those of you who are interested, you can go into my description box and there's the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email. There's a link to my Patreon in case you want to join us there. For those of you who've donated money through the coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.